Sarvasastrad Piyusha, Sarvavedaika Satvala, Sarvasiddhantaratnadya, Sarvalokaika Drikprita, Sarva Bhagavada Prana, Srimad Bhagavada Prabho, Kali Dvandoditaditya, Sri Krishna Parivartita, Paramananda Pataya, Prema Vakshaksharayate, Sarvada Sarvasevyaya, Sri Krishnaya Namostume, Mateka Bandho, Mat Sangin, Mat Guru, Man Mahadana, Mannistaraka Madbhagya Madananda Namostume, Asadu Sadhu Dadayin, Adinocha Takara, Namuncha Kadachin Mam, Premna Hritkantayospura. Translation: O Srimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churned from the ocean of all Vedic scriptures, you are the most prominent transcendental fruit of the Vedas and are enriched with the jewels of all philosophical conclusions. You grant spiritual vision to all people of the world and are very life breath of the Vaishnava devotees. O Lord, you are the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of Kali Yuga. Actually, you are Lord Krishna who has returned among us. O Srimad Bhagavatam, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. By your recitation, one attains transcendental bliss because your syllables shower down pure love of God. You are to be served by everyone, always, for you are an incarnation of Lord Krishna. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, companion and teacher, O my great wealth and deliverer, O my good fortune and bliss, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Accompanied by pure love of Krishna, please manifest yourself in my heart and throat. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to start the prayers of Prahalad Maharaj. So our learning session, we will keep it later because Shraddha Mataji didn't join today. So I'm going to take the 5 verses, Prahalad Maharaja's prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 9th chapter, 8th verse, sloka number 8 till 50. So it is going to be a very big prayer. So we will go by 5, 10 like that. So I'll read the verse and meaning. Maybe others cannot read. So I'll read the verse and meaning, and then I will go ahead with the explanation. Okay. Text 9, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 8. Sri Prahalada Uvacha Brahmanadaya. Wait. 8. Brahmanadaya Suragana Munayo Atasiddhaha Satvai Katana Gatayo Vachasam Prabhaharai Naradatim Purugana Gunair Adunapi Pipruhu Kim Tosham Arhati Same Harir Ugrajateha. Translation: Prahalad Maharaja prayed, how is it possible for me, who have been born in a family of Asuras, to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and all the saintly persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words. Although such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness, then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. Text 9. Manye dhanabhijana rupatapa shrutudan daujas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga Naradanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosha Bhagavan gaja yatapaya. Prahalad Maharaja continued. One may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. Text 10. Vipradvisat gunayuktat aravindanabha padaravinda vimuktat swapaucham varistam manyetat arpita mano vachanehi darta pranam punati cha kulam natu bhurimanaha. If a Brahmana has all 12 Brahminical qualifications, as they are stated in the book called Sanat Sujata, but he is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog-eater, but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than a Brahmana because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmana, in a position of false prestige, cannot purify even himself. We'll go up to 11, okay? 11, 12 also. Naivatmanah prabhurayam nijala purno manam janat avidushu karuno vrinile yat jano bhagavate vidadita manam tachatmane prati mukasya yatha mukashri. Translation: the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always fully satisfied himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering by the Lord's mercy is for the benefit of the devotee, for the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of the one's face in a mirror is also seen to be decorated. Verse 12. Tasmad aham vigata viklau ishvarasya sarvatmana mahi grinami yatha manisham nicho jayaguna visargam anupravistah pujeta yena hi puman anuvarnitena. Therefore, although I am born in a demonic family, I may without a doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor as far as my intelligence allows. Anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of material life if he offers prayers to the Lord and hears the Lord's glories. Very nice. We will focus on these 5 verses from 8 till 12. Okay, before that, we will give in all the classes, we will glorify Prahalad Maharaj. A 5-year-old small boy became a Maharaj. So, bhakti is not restricted to any candidate. One may be young, one may be old, one may be middle class, women. Bhakti is not restricted. So, Prahalad Maharaj is born in a demon's family. So to become a devotee for him was a big challenge. He underwent a lot of troubles, lots of unimaginable. Ordinary people cannot imagine about the suffering Prahalad Maharaj underwent. But all these things he could cross over because of his staunch faith. So Prahalad Maharaj is considered as one of the 12 Mahajans. Many devotees, when they sing a Narsimha prayer, they say Bhakta Prahalad, Bhakta Prahalad. And when they mention, they also say Bhakta Prahalad. In ISKCON term, Bhakta means devotee. But Prahalad has already become, he is a devotee, but above that, he is a acharya, he is a guru. That's why we mention him as Prahalad Maharaj, not Bhakta Prahalad. So, devotee, definitely he is a devotee, but when we address him as Maharaj. We don't address him as a devotee. He is Maharaj, means Guru, Acharya. So many devotees make this mistake of singing also Bhakta Prahalad like that. He is not a Bhakta Prahalad. In ISKCON terms, when somebody not yet initiated, they are considered like Sunita Mataji is here. So when we address Sunita Mataji, we call Bhaktin Sunita, like that we have to address. Here, because she is not yet initiated. If she is initiated like Rani Rukmini Mataji, so Rani Rukmini Mataji Devidasi, Rani Rukmini Devidasi we say. But if somebody is not initiated, we call them as Bhaktin. Kamila is there. Bhaktin Kamila, Bhaktin Sunita, Bhaktin Vasanti Murti, like that. So this is in ISKCON term. We understand the terms. We should never address Maharaj as Bhakta. Okay. So when somebody sings like that, we should be very careful. We should understand the position of Maharaj, Prahalad Maharaj. Prahalad Maharaj is not an ordinary person. He is one of the 12 Mahajans. We all know who are the 12 Mahajans. Shiva, Narada, Kapila, Brahma, Bhishma, Sukadeva Goswami, Yamaraja, all this. Janaka, all these great personalities in the whole creation. 12 devotees are considered as Mahajans, not ordinary devotees. They are special. So Prahalad Maharaj is one among them. Of course, this Bali Maharaj also one of the Mahajans. So Prahalad Maharaj, as I told you, underwent a lot of difficulties and he proved himself. Prabhupada, when he writes about such devotees, he called them as chaste devotees. So pure devotees. Chaste means they don't know anything other than Krishna. Also, we know the 9 process of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Archanam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So 9 process, in the 9 process, we can do all the 9, or we by one method, one process also we can achieve perfection. So Prahalad Maharaj is famous for, he did everything, but he is famous for always remembering the Lord. His life, if you see, like persons like us, like me, I'm situated in Mayapur. Mayapur is a place where anyone comes, they have to do devotional service. Even here, lots of Muslims are there. They also say Hare Krishna. At least by default, they should say Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji. All this is a devotional land. So any ordinary person comes here also, they perform unknowingly. If they don't want to do devotional service also, somehow Mahaprabhu arranges for them. At least they eat prasad. But Prahalad Maharaj's situation was not like that. He was in the womb of his mother and he got the lesson Siksha from his Gurudev, Narad Muni, not directly when he was in the womb. So that made him a devotee. This is the power of association of pure devotee. It is Narad Muni he didn't give initiation directly. The teachings he gave indirectly, means he was in the womb. He was not born in the world. But that's why it is said that it is very, very important that pregnant women's consciousness should be pure and they should hear and study. So all these things are by seeing Prahalad Maharaj's example, he learned, he became a devotee in the mother's womb itself. So when he was born, he became a devotee by default. He was always chanting the name of the Lord, always remembering the Lord. In his situation, because he was surrounded by atheists, there is no temple, there is no association of devotees, there is no books, there is no Prabhupada, no ISKCON, nothing. So by he took association in the womb, and when he was there, when he came to the world, I just remembered his spiritual master's instructions and started doing the devotional service. And there is no favorable condition in his life, not even a single point you see. Any temple, any devotee, books, nothing. That is the speciality of Prahalad Maharaj. Prahalad Maharaj was not supported by anything. He was just remembering Krishna, had a very strong faith. Shraddha was high level, 100%. So all these things are very high motivation for us. So sometimes we become very dull in our devotional service. We lose our enthusiasm. But by seeing Prahalad Maharaj, he was not allowed to do any devotional service. That is another thing. Okay, if you don't have any favorable condition, it's okay. But he was only in unfavorable condition. So from his life, what we learn is the external situation doesn't affect the devotion. We always lament, we always say, and we are always talking about the external conditions. See, I don't have a devotee husband, I don't have a temple nearby, I don't have physical health, I don't, like that, many reasons we devotees, they say, for their not performing perfect devotional service. They just say the conditions, climate is not good. So like that, we give so many excuses. But here is an example where the external didn't affect his devotional service. It increased the dangerous situations, which the calamities which Prahalad Maharaj underwent, increased his devotion. So that means the external situation, if it is very negative, it should increase our devotional service, correct? If we have very bad external situation, then it should increase our devotional service. If we take the example of Prahalad Maharaj, which increased his, his faith, his Shraddha increased. He was thrown from mountain. He was always chanting. And he was put into hot oil, boiling oil. He was chanting. He was put into fire. He was threatened. Every day and night he was threatened. But he was having strong faith in the Lord. He was made to smash by the elephant. He was among lots of poisonous snakes. So many troubles were given to Prahalad Maharaj, as much as possible. Hiranyakashipu was trying every day how I can kill him. So Prahalad Maharaj's life was full of dangers. Can anyone imagine even a small, slightest disturbance happen in our life? Slightest difficulty happen in our life, first thing we do is keep the bead bag out. Oh, I'm not healthy, I'm very weak, my mind is disturbed, so many disturbances here and there, so I'm not able to chant. First thing we do is stopping the devotional service. We don't stop eating, we don't stop sleeping, we don't stop anything else, but first thing we do is stop chanting. Yeah, yes. So I am not able to focus. But here is an example. The conditions are very, very dangerous. They are forcing them. For Hiranyakashipu and Parvati were even the teachers of Prahalad Maharaj. They were begging him because the teachers were threatened by Hiranyakashipu. If you don't stop him doing all these things, we will kill you. So the teachers were begging, please, please, please don't chant the name of Vishnu. Please don't be a devotee of Vishnu, because it is our life-threatening situation. Please, please, please don't do this. The teachers were begging from Prahalad Maharaj. But still, so everywhere opposition only. So we see that he invited the Lord. One more speciality in his life is that he is a very, small boy, right? Small boy. For a small boy, one devotee, big incarnation. You see any other incarnations, Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, other Varaha, other incarnations. There are so many leelas associated, so many devotees, so many asuras to be killed, so many pastimes. So agenda is big. But here, no, for one small devotee, Lord has to come. Even if it is one small devotee, Lord is ready to come. When one small devotee, there are so many mission were there in Ramayana and Mahabharata. So the Lord had to come. But here is only one mission, to protect Prahalad Maharaj. Very nice, right? To protect Prahalad Maharaj, Lord has appeared. So now everything went. The story we all know, right? Narasimhadev appeared and he killed Hiranyakashipu, the troubling demon, to his dear devotee Prahalad Maharaj. Sometimes it happens in the same family. Father is not a devotee, son is devotee. Son is a devotee. Son is a devotee, father is not a devotee. And father is a devotee, son is not a devotee. Like that, it happens. And here, Prahalad Maharaj is a devotee and his son, Virochan, is not a devotee. You know, his son, immediate son, is not a devotee. And Virochan's son, Bali Maharaj, became a devotee. So, not only here in a human's life also, we can see such situations. Wife is a devotee, husband is not a devotee, parents are devotees, children are not devotees, we are devotees, relatives are not devotees. So devotees' lives are definitely disturbed by non-devotees. So the non-devotees association definitely disturbs the life of devotees, which we saw in the life of Prahalad Maharaj. But he continued, he was determined. He was not at all scared, because he was always remembering Krishna, Smaranam. So Smaranam, he was, that was the only thing you could do. Like, if he had a temple, he could visit the temple and do some devotional service. But he no such facility for him. He was all alone. That what he could do is remember Krishna. So one more point we can understand from Prahalad Maharaja is that if nothing is there, we can simply remember Krishna. If our situation is like that, our hands are tied up, our situation is very pathetic, then we can still be like Prahalad Maharaj. He was always constantly remembering Krishna. So now everything is done. Hiranyakashipu and the party were killed by Narasimhadev, so powerful demon in the whole history, because he became very powerful by his own austerity. Hiranyakashipu did a big austerity, which no one can, even devotees cannot do that. Devotees are simple. They do devotional service purely, but you see the motivation of Hiranyakashipu. That is another special character. Very special character. Hiranyakashipu is special only because, that much tapasya nobody did in the history. Yeah, of course, Narayana Rishi, they are Lord and Arjuna. But the Hiranyakashipu's tapasya is uncomparable. But the sad part of it is that he wanted something material. He could have asked for the Lord's favor. He could have, but this is the thing with non-devotees. You see, in the whole world, the non-devotees are doing a lot of austerity to achieve something which is very temporary. Very temporary. The same effort, if they put in achieving the Lord, it is permanent, right? Maybe even less effort, no need to do such big austerity. No need, not necessary. That's what Prahalad Maharaj is always saying. Not necessary to do such things. Simply love Krishna. So Hiranyakashipu was killed and his men, Hiranyakashipu's men were killed by Lord Narasimhadev. Narasimhadev is now very angry. Though the demigods prayed, which we saw, but they are still afraid to come near to the Lord. So here the scene starts. Lord Brahma is requesting. Even Lakshmi Devi was very much scared by Narasimhadev's mood. Her own husband, but she got scared because Narasimhadev was very angry. So Brahma understood the situation and he requested Prahalad Maharaja, you please go ahead and start your prayer. Prahalad Maharaja was very bold because Narasimhadev is his lord, right? And the cubs of the lion, they don't scared of the lion, right? He's child of Narasimhadev, so he boldly went. And he's small. And Lord touched him with love. For him he came, so he touched him with love. Then the prayer started. Until then, he is a small boy, but he had a strong faith on Lord. To do anything in this world, material world, whether it is devotional or non-devotional, we need the favor of the Lord. That's what we say, we see in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that I give everything, everything comes from him. Materially also, spiritually also, whatever we do, but because of his help only, because of his strength only. So the Lord, specifically for devotees to perform devotional service, we take his favor. He only gives us the intelligence to perform the devotional service. So the Lord Narasimhadev touches him. So now Prahalad Maharaja is enlightened. Now we can see such a beautiful prayers. Every prayer is beautiful. We can see, we can really show how Prahalad Maharaja is glorifying the Lord and how the Lord, it's exchange, loving exchange. Now Lord is personally here. Imagine. And that's the beauty of Bhagavatam. Every page we take darshan of the devotees, every page we take darshan of the Lord. That's why Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. This is the beauty of Bhagavatam. We are seeing the Lord now. We are seeing the Lord Narasimhadev now. Prahalad Maharaja is there. Now we see the loving exchange between the devotee and the Lord. So now devotee is speaking. Lord will also speak. You see, conversation. Lord will also speak. Now Prahalad Maharaja is starting his prayer. Starting prayers is very humble, which every devotee should cultivate. We don't have humility, but you see the humility of Prahalad Maharaj. Prahalad Maharaj says that I am not qualified to pray to you. How is it possible for me who have born in a family of asuras to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and all the saintly persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words, although such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness. Then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. This is the beauty of, this is the greatness of pure devotees. Prahalad Maharaja is a pure devotee. He is born in an Asura family, but he is not an Asura. But still, before the Lord, he identifies himself as an Asura. He says such a great personalities. This is the real nature of devotees. The devotees never envy other devotees, and the devotees value the other devotees. See, the demigods, he is respecting the demigods. All the demigods pray to the Lord. They are, you see, they are all great saintly persons, and they could not satisfy the Lord. So being born in I'm being born in an Asura family, how I can satisfy the Lord? That is a real humility. Unless somebody is in the mood of Trinadapi Sunijana, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari, Kirtaniya Sadari. What is Kirtan? What is Kirtan? Kirtan is glorifying the Lord. We chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is Kirtan. What Prahalad Maharaj is doing is also Kirtan. Unless the devotee is in the level of Trinadapi Sunisana, it is not possible. So this humility is natural for devotees. So Prahalad Maharaj is humble. See, I am born in a family of Asuras, and I have no qualification to glorify you, and I cannot satisfy. How is it possible? It is not possible. So he is first delivering his inability to glorify the Lord, but he is able to glorify the Lord, but is presenting himself in an humble position. That is the nature of devotees. It is not artificially like devotees, artificially in Vyasa Puja and all, no. They are allowed to speak, and they artificially say, oh Guru Maharaj, I am very fallen, I am very fallen. Once to Prabhupada, one disciple went and told, Prabhupada, I am very fallen. Prabhupada could identify that he is not really speaking in humility. It's artificial. He could understand. And he said, it is not, you are not a fallen, you are insignificant, he said. Where you are very insignificant. So Acharya know, right, what is the mood of the disciple. So he said, you are very insignificant. So here the humility of Prahalad Maharaja is natural. And he is feeling for that. So even if it is not naturally coming, we should try, at least we should try to understand our position in a small level. Like we are all Anu, we are Anu, and he is Vibhu. So from Shastras, we understand that we are small and he is big. So in that way, we can have this humility. We are nothing before the Lord. We are just mosquitoes. One thing I remember is that even in the scene, if you see this is happening, where Prahalad Maharaj is a small boy, 5-year-old, and the Lord is very huge. His personality, Narasimhadev was very ferocious and very huge. When they installed Narasimhadev deity in Mayapur, the Stapati, the sculpture, who made that Narasimhadev deity, he was saying that Prahalad Maharaja's deity should be very, very small, that there is some ratio he mentioned. And because it is not like Narasimhadev is this much size and Prahalad Maharaj is half his size, not possible. He said 10 times or 20 times he should be bigger. Then they had some calculation and made Prahalad Maharaj small. So a devotee understands that I am very small. Lord is very big, uncomparably big. We cannot compare ourselves. We are tiny, that's all, one drop in the ocean. We are one drop in the ocean. Ocean, how big it is? Very big. So, Prabhupada is writing about Jagai and Madai in Chaitanya Leela. Jagai and Madai are not at all qualified to be delivered. No. So, but they generally, when devotees pray, they say that I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai. I am more worse than the worm in the stool. This is real only if we understand that what are all the sins we have done in the past lives. If we imagine, if we can understand, then we will understand this. So that's why some devotees, they pray that I'm worse than Jagai and Madai. Okay, that's why the Lord is not delivering us. We are still having lots of impurities. So if we understand that, then humility will come. Ninth verse, Prahalad Maharaja is continuing. One may possess wealth and aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. So, such a nice prayer. This is true. Generally, those who have born in aristocratic family, a very high qualification, one who is very beautiful. So there are so many material qualifications. So many times we also see when devotees introduce the other devotees uh, to the public, not to the devotees. Devotees, it is not needed at all. To the public, when they introduce, no, they say that this devotee is IIT, this devotee is a doctor, like that they introduce. But I feel very uncomfortable, for introducing a devotee. The qualification is how humble we are, how nice how our sadhana is perfect, how much service we have done. That is more important than the material qualification, whether we are from a Brahmin family or like that. All these things, Prahalad Maharaj himself is saying that these things will not please Krishna. What pleases Krishna is devotional service, pure devotional service. So Gajendra is an animal. Gajendra is not even a human being, animal. But how he pleased the Lord? By his prayers, by his service. In that pain, he plucked one lotus flower and offered to the Lord. You see. So he is quoting Gajendra. You see, Gajendra did this and the Lord was pleased. Okay. So all these things are not qualification, but all these things sometimes may be a disqualification. Lots of wealth, lots of beauty, we see that if somebody is very beautiful, what do they do? Especially ladies, they do modeling. And which will go against their dharma, Stri dharma, right? They don't understand. Modern girls, they don't understand that such careers will ruin their life, ruin their human life, human form of life. All these decorations, all these things, modeling, go appearing in cinemas, all these things will ruin their life, but they don't understand. They are very less intelligent. So beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, influence, mystic yogic powers, like which Hiranyakashipu had, He could control the whole universe. Very powerful person. All the demigods were afraid. All the demigods were hiding. Last prayers we were seeing, They lost everything. All their services were stopped. So he is the most powerful person, and he had lots of mystic power. So all these things they couldn't satisfy Krishna. These are not the qualification to please Krishna. To please Krishna, what we have to do? We have to sincerely pray. We have to become a sincere, pure devotee. Pure devotion will attract him, nothing else. Which is 100% true. Unless we have this qualification, we have this pure devotion, other qualifications will not help. Now, the next verse is nicely describing something else, which is very, very interesting. If a Brahmana has all 12 Brahminical qualifications, So Prabhupada is writing those Brahminical qualifications, like speaking truthfully, having religious principles, controlling the senses, undergoing austerities, penances, being free from jealous, being intelligent, being tolerant, uh, creating no enemies, performing yajna, giving charity, being steady, being well versed in Vedic study, and observing vows. All these things are Brahminical qualifications. But if one has a Brahminical qualifications but doesn't become a devotee, what is the use? So one may be surprised. Brahmin is a devotee is a Brahmin, right? Then how such verse from Prahalad Maharaja is coming? You may be surprised how this is mentioned here. Means there are Brahmins who perform fruitive activities. Brahmins, they may have this qualification. They are truthful. They don't earn money. They don't become jealous. They are very religious. But the motive of their religion, what is the motive of religion is to get some fruits of their actions. Like their motive, inner motive is to go to heavenly planets. Their inner motive is to gain a good life in next life. Simply like that, not to please Krishna or not to understand, not to become perfect, attain the perfection of human life. This is called as karma kanda. So karma kanda means fruitive actions, and they perform duty to gain something, to religious duties. These are all the religious duties which is mentioned in Vedas. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, don't be attracted to the flowery words of the Vedas. This is the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is mentioned in the four Vedas. But we should rise above that and study Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is above the Vedas. Above the Vedas, and it speaks about a pure devotional service. That's why in the beginning of Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva was not happy after compiling all the four Vedas. He was not happy. So his spiritual master, Narad Muni, guides him, instructs him. Now you write Bhagavatam. Then you will be satisfied, because this is direct devotional service. Other things, how you can peacefully live in this world and attain dharma, artha, kama, moksha, means religion, economic development, sense enjoyment, then liberation. But this is not the goal of Bhagavatam. The goal of Bhagavatam is pure devotional service. So a Brahmana who is only with fruitive activities, then there is no use. There is no use. So that's why in Bhagavatam also in one verse says, Etavan Shankya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janmalabha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. So one may perform their duties very nicely. Very nicely. But what is the use? If they don't remember Krishna, if they don't remember Narayana at the end of their life, unless one becomes a devotee, they cannot remember Krishna, Narayana at the end of their life. So all these Karmakandi Brahmanas, he is mentioning, Prahalad Maharaj is gurus. He studied in Gurukul, and the gurus were teaching him military science, not science of God. They were teaching him military science, like Dronacharya. So that's why he is saying that such kind of activity will not please Krishna. Okay, they may have a better life next life, but they may not go back home, back to Godhead. So he says, what is the use? So Prabhupada is giving a big explanation for this. So one may need not born in a Brahmin family to become a devotee. One may take birth anywhere, but if they take up devotional service, that is very important. They should take up devotional service to the Supreme Lord. That is very, very important. They are above Brahmins. They rise above this Brahminical culture. Yeah, devotees are definitely Brahmins. And they even raise about that mode of goodness. Brahmins are in the mode of goodness, and the devotional service is in pure goodness. Okay. So Prabhupada is giving a lot of explanation for this. There is no need to be born in Brahmin family to do devotional service. One may take birth anywhere, but they have to become devotee. That is more important. So the next verse, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always fully satisfied in himself. This is also a very beautiful verse. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering by the Lord's mercy is for the benefit of the devotee. For the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in a mirror is also seen to be decorated. Very nice verse. So normally when we think, when we donate to the temple or devotees, or we give some offering to the Guru Maharaj and to the Lord, we always think it is there inborn. We think that I am giving, I gave donations, I serve. So when I studied, when I read this verse only, when I could identify my anartha of saying that I am doing service like that. So a great change happened within me. I felt very ashamed. How I can serve? No, unless the Lord gives me energy, intelligence, time, mercy, I cannot serve him. One point. Another point is, by serving, I think nobody is there to make garland for him. Only I am making garland and giving him. Because I have chosen a place where there is no competition. So I feel that there is no one there. So I am doing. What a shame. Then I, after studying this verse, I felt what a shame. What a shame. Lord has mercifully employed me, but I am thinking I am doing. I cannot do this. And it is for, I'm thinking nobody can do it. I am doing. But he is not in need of you. He is not in need of me. He can employ anything. He can do anything. But he is merciful in accepting our offering. And who is benefited? Lord or you? Me. It's me. When I glorify Guru Maharaj, when I glorify the Lord, when I offer something to the Lord, it is the one who benefits is me, not the Lord. Now, Lord is Atmarama. What is Atmarama? One who is in full satisfaction. He is Atmarama. So he doesn't need any service or any glorification. He is not bothered. It is by his mercy he gives us the opportunity to do this. Similarly, Guru Maharaj also. So here Prahalad Maharaj is giving on a beautiful example. If somebody decorates their body and stands before the mirror, the reflection is also decorated, right? So we are reflections of the Lord. We are reflections, we are shadow of the Lord. We are tiny particle of the Lord. So it should be understood that when we do service to the Lord, it is we get benefited, not the Lord. So this understanding should be very, very, very important. When we do service, when we become devotee, it is beneficial for us, not for the Lord. Lord is pleased definitely, but we should understand it is for my benefit. This is the best selfish activity. So some people ask us question, devotional service is selfishness. Yes, that selfishness is needed. We need to become selfish in taking up devotional service. That is the best welfare thing which you do for yourself, and which is also a very good welfare activity. For example, if somebody becomes a devotee and they become very peaceful in the society, they don't do any nonsense in the society. So definitely it is a welfare activity. If somebody becomes a very good devotee, and it is beneficial for the society, for him also, for the society also, right? So this is the most wonderful welfare activity which we can perform. Next verse. Uh, Therefore, although I was born in a demonic family, I may without a doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor, as far as my intelligence allows. So he is saying that how far my intelligence allows, that much I can pray. Anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of material life if he offers praise to the Lord and hears Lord's glories. So we are in material world, and what we need to do, our duty, we have to glorify the Lord. So if somebody is glorifying the Lord, and they are purified. In the material world, this is our duty. In spiritual world, that becomes natural. That is not forced upon. But in a material world, we are forcing ourselves because it is not natural. We are not naturally devotees. We are forcing ourselves for our benefit. We should understand that. For our benefit, we have to force ourselves because the mind is always behind sense gratification. The mind is always behind sense gratification. So we bring the mind towards devotional service so that we get the high benefit. So those who offer beautiful prayers, so how we cannot offer prayers? We just simply follow great Mahajans. We imitate. In this matter, we have to imitate. Like we have to recite the prayer of Prahalad Maharaj. We have to recite the prayer of Kunti Maharani. We have to follow Acharyas. Then we get the same benefit. It's not that if we recite the same exact Prahalad Maharaja's prayers, exactly we will get the same benefit Prahalad Maharaja received. That's why it is often told by the acharyas and senior devotees that you repeat the same. So one small thing I will mention in the class. Once I was normally being a Tamil, I'm a Tamil lady. So I recite lots of Tamil prayers because I'm very comfortable in my own language, right? But being in Mayapur, these prayers are mostly for Srirangam Ranganatha, the deity, the Alvars glorified Ranganatha. So the only Srirangam and Ranganatha name will be coming in that prayer. So I removed those names and put Radha Madhav and Mayapur like that. And then I was long before. Then in one class to a senior devotee, I was telling that. When I say Srirangam, I transfer as Mayapur. And then I was praying like that. I told him openly. It's a very important that what we do, we have to present that to senior devotees so that we will be corrected. That we should be ready for correction. Otherwise, we cannot grow in devotion. So that devotee was very humble and immediately he was not guiding me. He said, no, like that, like that, like that. He was telling then, no, I was asking him, please tell me whether it is right or wrong. So for some many years, I was thinking what I am doing is right. But then later he told that you are not supposed to change the words of the acharyas. You should pray as it is. That's why our Gurudev, many times he corrects us. Like for example, we prayed to Tulsi Maharani. Many devotees, they say that Vrindayai, Tulsi Devyayai, Priyayai, Keshava Sachai, Vishnu Bhakti Pratedevi Satyavatiyai Namo. In this Vishnu Bhakti, they put Krishna Bhakti. They say, what is the difference between Vishnu Bhakti and Krishna Bhakti? Ultimately, same only. But the author of that song wrote as Vishnu Bhakti, not as Krishna Bhakti. So, it should be Vishnu Bhakti, not Krishna Bhakti. Similarly, in Guru prayer, Guru Vandana, they say Bhakati Satma. Every day we sing that Guru Puja time, no? Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti. It is Bhakti Satma. But they say Bhakati Sadma. Bhakati, I don't know why it came. But when I sing Bhakti Sadma only. Because it is written as bhakti only. Why you write bhakti? So that devotee is, means corrected me, then I changed. Then he said, if you have that prayer of Ranganath, you keep Ranganath deity in your house small, or keep some photo and recite. Yeah, of course you are in Mayapur, but the prayer is for Ranganath. You keep, then somehow by Lord's mercy, I don't know from where I got a small deity, this small deity of Ranganath. I kept him in the altar. Oh, I was so happy. Yeah, okay. And then I recite the prayers. So the point I learned, the point I'm telling you is that exactly we have to imitate in prayers also. Like Prahalad Maharaj's prayers are there. So all these prayers we just learn and then recite and understand the meaning also. Right? Okay. So any question, comments? Hare Krishna. We'll go 5 slokas. Maybe next week there may not be class. Yeah. The forthcoming week, we will have some glorification.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji,
Rajakula Segar.
Kulasegar Alvar.
Yeah, that prayers. So it's totally on, he's praying to Lord Narayana only, no, Mataji? Totally the prayers.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you're telling about the Ranganatha separate prayers.
I don't understand.
Yeah, what will be the mood of that prayers and all? So Prabhupada also mentioned about that prayers, Rajakula Sekhara Arasa prayer. It will take to us back to Godhead like that.
Yeah, definitely. So mood, you are asking our son.
Yeah, I'm asking that prayer of mood, Mataji. So we are yeah,
they are in Aishwarya.
Radha Krishna, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Mai, and that is related to Narayana, Vishnu, even Srirangam Ranganadhara or even Padmanabha. So they are into Vaikuntha's mood like that. I'm just asking about the prayer of the mood.
Vaikuntha mood is correct only, not wrong. But the point is, as much as possible, we have to engage in different prayers and different
prayers.
Different kinds of like, we cannot, some devotees achieve the perfection, like they only chant Hare Krishna mantra every day 64 rounds. Until we reach that perfect stage, we have to engage our mind in different prayers, in different Vaishnava songs, in different devotional service. So until we come to the stage that Hare Krishna mantra, I will chant 64 rounds or more rounds. Until then, and to that stage, we have to use different methods to engage our mind. Okay, our sampradaya is only Goloka mood, not Vaikuntha mood. But still, glorifying the Lord will help us to advance.
Okay.
Advance. Can you chant 64, means can you chant 24 hours a day? Difficult, right? So
yeah, yes, it is automatically, naturally, it should come by the mercy of Lord, right?
No, but when we engage different with using different prayers, different Vaishnava songs, and different, as much as possible, engage your mind. So I cultivated a habit of, what is my habit? What is your habit? If somebody asks, I take different prayers and recite them. And I don't know, I'm attracted to that. That is my. So whenever some devotees saw some prayer book, they will gift me. I gifted to Rani Rukmini also, the prayer book, because I always have this. So I have a diary. It's full of different prayers. This is the way I engage my mind. But our mood is Goloka Vrindavan mood only. That we will achieve. That we will achieve in an advanced stage, not now. Yes. Not now.
But the mind engagement, you're telling about the mind engagement. So the mind engagement, now you're saying in the prayer and all, just continuously reading and engaging. So what about that preaching, Mataji? Preaching also, like
also,
it's in a mind engagement.
Also, I am also, that is also another engagement. Preaching, book distribution, service in the temple, singing, kirtan,
Okay.
nagar sankirtan. There are different devotional activity to keep our mind engaged in service, in remembrance of Krishna. So different devotees engage their mind in different activity. So I engage my mind in reciting different prayers. That much I can say.
So
Yes.
then the mind will be calm, peace, and then
Mind will focus on the Lord's Lord.
focus on Lord's will.
It
Okay.
is not controlling, making the mind peaceful. That is not our goal.
Mm.
Our
Actually, the
goal,
unwanted thoughts are rising, no, Mataji, from the
for
mind.
that only you have to
Some
recite,
deviation.
always chant the holy name.
Holy name.
So reciting prayers is chanting the holy name only.
Mm.
But not exactly Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting, but different prayers, like the prayer. Bhagavatam prayers are, yeah.
Even if we try for chanting like 64 minutes, is it possible, Mataji? Ekadesi we are doing, but rest of the day it is very difficult only. It's dragging, mind is dragging to some other thing and making delay.
Yes.
So it has a natural tendency of the mind. Right?
No problem. Sankirtan Dasi, you can leave because morning duties may start for you. Very nice that you came for the class. Hare Krishna. Now I'm, yeah. Anuragini, so this is how we engage our mind
Okay, Mataji.
in different activities according to your service interest. Some I have seen some devotees, they are very much interested in cooking for the Lord. Some devotees are interested in doing kirtan for the Lord. Some devotees are interested in making garlands for the Lord. Some devotees are interested in making rangoli for the Lord. So different services. So by doing service, our mind is in the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay. So when we engage in service, our mind is in the lotus feet of the Lord, right? So prayers are very near to this activity.
Krishna.
When we recite prayers, means that we are engaging the mind and meditating on the meaning of the Lord, meaning of those prayers. That makes a powerful change in the heart. That's why above service, chanting. Service is very good. Unless you don't do service, then you become a bhajananandi. Service, chanting, everything should be balanced. Balanced.
Okay.
So that's why I say Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jiva Doya. So all these three should be perfect. Now, Jiva Doya is preaching. We help other living entities other people to come to Krishna consciousness. That is preaching. Namaruchi is first is Namaruchi, chanting the holy name. Vaishnava Seva, serving the devotees. That is very important. In any way, whatever possible way, you have to service in all the levels. Some people I have seen only sannyasis and great devotees they serve. They don't serve small devotees. Without that discrimination, you serve whomever come to you. That is also very good.
Okay.
So serve devotees. So it's a big topic. We'll go later.
Okay.
Any other doubt? Yeah. Kamila, any doubt for you?
No, Mataji, thank you. I was listening to part of your class because other parts I was a little busy, so I'll listen again to your class. Yeah, I just have a comment. It's not about this class. It's about, I think, yesterday or before yesterday, you gave a class on in Hindi about Dharma of women. So I was wondering if those classes, I think there are two, can be available in English, or some Mataji who knows, like English could translate.
Yeah. No. All these women's classes I have done with English also. The story of Sati and the story of Sandili, right? I have mentioned.
Sandili, yeah, that's the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, those stories I have given in the English class also. But I
Okay.
don't think Sati I spoke. Yeah, Sati also I spoke in a different class.
Okay. Yeah.
All the English classes are mixed, not exactly like that Hindi class.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
have done in English class. Definitely I would mention them. No, Sandali I have to check whether I spoke or not. Or otherwise,
Okay.
I will give exact same class in a year also, if you want.
Yes, Mataji.
I will give
Thank you, Mataji.
one day. Okay. So
Yes.
next,
Thank you, Mataji.
if possible, when everybody comes, we will have a glorification of Gurudev, His Holiness Bhakti Vikasa Swami. One day we will have a class. Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we are leaving for Vyasa Puja to Puri. After Vyasa Puja, we will have a class on that. Okay. Thank you very much. Next week, maybe or may not be. Let me check. If possible, I will take. Otherwise, we will see the other week. Okay. Vancha kalpadarubhasya kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.